Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Guy, and today I am checking out a new guitar. The guitar I have here today is the ESP LTD M-201B. It's a 6-string baritone guitar, and I gotta say, it's pretty freaking awesome. Now, before we jump into the specs and do some kind of tone demos and stuff, check out this full mix that I did with this guitar. I did a cover song of an old Misfits, track called Bullet. I think it turned out pretty good. Played it all on this guitar, double tracked, tuned in drop A. Let me know what you think.
President pulling anybody in the street. Ride, Johnny, ride. Kennedy shattered head, he's gone free. Ride, Johnny, ride. Johnny's wiping thunder and Johnny's wiping scared. Run, Jackie, run. Take this as an outrage when your husband is dead. Take this as an outrage when they pick up his head. Take this as a reason that the president's scared. You gotta suck, Jackie, suck. President's pulling anybody in the street. Ride, Johnny, ride. Kennedy shattered head, it's gone free. Ride, Johnny, ride. Texas is an outrage when your husband is dead. Texas is an outrage when they pick up his head. Texas is the reason that the president's dead. You gotta suck, Jackie, suck. Oh, rise, Jackie, oh. Jonathan F. Kennedy will rise and be shot down. The next gonna be your desert. My country, your life source, and the only way to get it is to suck of people and more than masturbate me. Masturbate me. It's slipping from your phone like a dry desert, sucking up rain. Soaking up the sun like a dry desert, soaking up the rain, soaking up sun.
All right, so yeah, that was Misfits Bullet. That was my cover. Kind of full mix. You know, I'm an amateur, so it's not awesome or anything, but yeah, I did that with this guitar primarily. Drop A tuning. The software sim that I used was a Neural DSP Mesa Mark II C Plus sim. No IRs, just using the built-in cab emulation that Neural DSP has in their software sims or amp sims. Drums was MDL Tones Ultimate Heavy Drums, which sound phenomenal. Bass was Easy Bass. I didn't even play bass on that one. And then I had a fellow that I found off Fiverr do the vocals for me. He did a great job. Super affordable, only $20 to record those vocals for that track. I'll have his information down below in the description if you'd like to, get someone to sing one of your tracks. Yeah, can't beat the price, and sounded great too. So yeah, let me know what you thought of that full mix of Misfits Bullet cover, tuned in drop A instead of the standard tuning that you probably know that song from if you know that song. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. let's talk about this ESP LTD M-201B 6-string baritone. I'll go over the specs real quick for you. I got some notes here on my phone because I didn't want to forget anything. So if I'm glancing down, it's because I'm looking at the notes on my phone. But let's go over it. We got a gloss black mahogany body. Mahogany doesn't matter, tone woods, blah, blah, blah. I don't think it really does, but the gloss black finish looks awesome. It doesn't have scratches or swirl marks all over it like you get with a lot of cheaper, more affordable, high gloss guitar. So that's great. And speaking of price, yeah, only $550, just a hair over $500 for this guitar. Feels like a steal if you ask me. Now we do have a 3-piece bolt-on maple neck with the reverse headstock. And yeah, I love the reverse headstock look. I think that is awesome. Here's another big deal for me, rosewood fingerboard with offset dot inlays. The inlays, that's not the big deal. The big deal to me is that it's got a real rosewood fingerboard. It doesn't use Indian laurel like lots of brands do with their more affordable guitars. It doesn't use Jatoba like Ibanez does with a lot of their affordable guitars. Those woods typically look like crap in my opinion. This is, by all accounts, their marketing materials, and by looking at it, actually rosewood, and it's awesome. It's yeah, no complaints there. Also, we got the extra, jumbo frets. I don't think they're stainless steel. I think they're nickel. Not 100% sure on that, but at this price, probably not stainless steel. Still, the frets are really good. Not anything to complain about there, with the exception of a little bit of sharpness on the fret ends, but that was easy to clean up with a file and some polishing, 3M polishing pads that I have, so not a big deal. But yeah, the fret ends did come a little bit sharp. Other than that, though, the neck is really squared away. Speaking of the neck, we have the ultra, what do they call it? No, it's not ultra. It's the thin U profile, extra thin U, not ultra thin, but extra thin U profile with the 24 extra jumbo frets. The neck profile is super, super thin on this one, and I love it. I love nice thin necks. Compared to the Jackson USA Soloist that I've reviewed in the past, maybe not quite that thin. That guitar has a crazy thin neck. But if you look at the Ibanez and you're familiar with the Ibanez Wizard style necks, on par with that, maybe even slightly thinner than that Ibanez neck. So, ballpark, that's what you're kind of looking at if you're wondering, how does this neck feel? Very, very thin, not wide. And that was one of the big things. I wanted to get this guitar because I wanted a nice, I want to say thin, but what I mean is not wide neck. I had a 7-string, a Jackson 7-string for a while, and that extra string and the extra width on the neck never gelled with me. This neck is super thin. It's not wide. It's very, very comfortable. I absolutely love this neck on this guitar. Speaking of the neck, the overall whole guitar, I guess, technically 27-inch baritone scale length. Most guitars are going to have a 25.5-inch scale length, your Fender style scale length, or a 24 3/4, your Gibson style. So yeah, 27-inch scale length just means you can put heavier gauge strings on it and still maintain tension with belower tunings. This guitar comes in B standard. Obviously, I tuned it down to drop A, super easy. And yeah, overall, it's just great neck, great guitar for sure. What else we got? 350 millimeter fretboard radius, which in Freedom units comes out to like 13.75 inches. Feels like a nice flat fretboard. All I play is like, riffs and stuff, like chords and chugs and whatnot. So like for me, it feels fine. If you're like a shreddy solo guy, I don't know if you'll like that radius or not. Go to the store, try one out. But for me, yeah, it feels really good. We do have a plastic synthetic molded nut, which is being covered by my little string muter gizmo here. But yeah, I mean, most guitars in this kind of $500 and under price point, and technically this is slightly over 500, but most guitars in this price range are going to have plastic or synthetic nuts. It's fine. There's no issues with it. In terms of hardware, we have an LTD brand fixed bridge, an LTD tuning machines. The bridge kind of, I don't know, it reminds me of like a hip shot bridge with the block saddles, if you're familiar with those. I'm not saying it is that, but that's what it reminds me of. And the tuners remind me of your kind of standard go-to tuners. They're not locking tuners, but they're great. No problems with those. The electronics, so what this came with, and you'll notice this guitar does not have it, this came with an ESP LTD LH-150B humbucker and a push-pull volume pot. And if you look at the guitar right now, you'll see it's got a Seymour Duncan Black Winter in it, and the volume pot is not push-pull. and I changed the knob to a speed knob. Why did I change all of the electronics? Literally, I ripped out everything. I changed the pot, I changed the pickup, I changed the output jack to a switchcraft jack. I'll get into that. It's not necessary to do it, but I did it, and I'll explain why. I mean, in my case, it kind of was necessary, but I don't think in all cases it would be necessary. There was a little bit of a problem with the pickups that it came with. So yeah, that's the specs. I really like this guitar. We'll go over the pros and cons and like what I love about it and what I did kind of don't like about it. But first, just a couple of tones. I did the full mix already, so I'm not going to go crazy with the play demo, especially because it doesn't have the original pickups or electronics, so it's not really super representative of what you might get if you buy this guitar, but you might switch out the pickups on your guitars like I do, so, whatever. But anyway, yeah, some tones. Yeah, feels really good. I mean, I want to say it sounds really good, but like again, different pickups, different electronics. I mean, that might not be totally relevant, but feels great to play. No complaints about the overall feel of it, other than like I think I mentioned the fret ends were a little sharp. But let's talk about pros and cons. Pros, $550. It is one of the cheapest 6-string electric baritone guitars that I've seen. I think I saw there was a Squire that was like $499, but that's not very metal. A Squire Telecaster shape. I think metal, this is more my speed. But, other than that Squire, I don't think I saw any other sub $500 baritone guitars that like at all, but certainly I was going to say that compare, but I don't think I saw any. This is like one of the most affordable ones out there, and it's awesome. I have no regrets. But yeah, at $550, you can't beat it. And I spent my own $550 on this, by the way. Not a sponsored video. Nobody gave it to me. Nobody loaned it to me. I bought it because I needed a replacement for my 7-string because I didn't like the 7-string. And yeah, I think it's a score. Excellent quality with a few minor exceptions. The minor exceptions are, like I said, sharp fret ends. I had an issue with the stock humbucker. It was like microphonic. Like whenever I played with my real amp, right now I'm going through the Neural DSP plugin, the Mark II C+. But when I played with a real amp in a loud room, like tons and tons of feedback. So that was an issue. But other than that, and the slightly sharp fret ends, which was super easy to clean up with a fret end dressing file and some polishing cloth papers from 3M, took 20 minutes and it was perfect. Other than that, everything is really put together well. The nuts cut well. The string action's not too high or too low at the first fret. The action at the bridge, it's perfect, no problems. Everything was really well put together. The finish was good. Yeah. Also, we got a super thin neck, like I mentioned, and I just love the feel and the shape of the neck. It's very fast. Again, I'm not a shreddy solo guy, but for like the riffy kind of chuggy, doomy metal stuff, it's great. No complaints there. Absolutely awesome. And it looks awesome. The fit and finish and the reverse headstock. I love me a reverse headstock. I know a lot of you guys do as well. And the last really, like, I guess it could be a pro or a con, is like there's the single pickup with just the volume knob. There's no switching, there's no tones, there's no extra pickups. It's just very straightforward and simple. One pickup, one knob guitar. Like that could be a pro or a con. For me, it's a pro because I just want to play high gain, low tuned metal on this guitar, and that's it. So I like it. But if you want more versatility, yeah, this is not the guitar for that, but for me, it doesn't need to be. Really, I don't know. I can't say enough good stuff about it. Super comfortable to play. Sounds great, but again, different pickups. So, maybe that's not totally relevant. Now let's talk about why I swapped the pickup and, what the problems with this guitar were. There wasn't really too many, but I swapped the pickup, like I said, because when I was playing my real amps and especially loud, it just kind of went crazy with the squealing. It was kind of a microphonic pickup. I didn't bother calling and reporting it to customer service or anything or asking for a replacement because anyone's going to switch the pickups anyway, and everything else about the guitar was pretty much right on the money. So yeah, swapped out the pickup with the Seymour Duncan Black Winter. Swapped out the push pull pot because, like, why in the world do I need a single coil, like coil split sound on this guitar? So I just put in a standard CTS 500K pot. And then because I was swapping out all of the electronics, and there's not many electronics in this, it's literally pickup, control pot, and output jack. I went ahead and got a new Switchcraft output jack as well because, hey, why not? They're cheap. So yeah, all of the electronics were swapped out. The original stuff worked fine, sounded fine if I wasn't like playing really loud with high gain in front of the amp. But as soon as I like cranked it up and got in front of that amp, it would just start kind of squealing uncontrollably. If you get one and it isn't microphonic, then you probably have no reason to swap out the pickups or the electronics because it sounded great. Like I had no complaints with the tone of the stock pickups. They were fine. So yeah, enough about that. That's where we're at there. I mentioned sharp fret ends, and yeah, that's kind of one of the other two negatives of this guitar. And that's going to vary from like example to example. You'll probably get one, then the fret ends will be perfect. On mine, especially when I came rolling over the bottom, I could feel the sharp end bits. What I did was I got a fret end dressing file, StewMac, $15. Kind of grinded down those fret ends. Then I got some 3M polishing pads and lots of different grits and just polished up everything, like the edge of the fretboard, the edge of the frets, and now they're perfect. Took, I don't know, I was going to say 15 minutes, but that's a lie. It probably took about an hour. It was somewhat time consuming. I mean, an hour, who cares? It was worth it. And now the fret ends are perfect. Again, you might get one and the fret ends and yours will be fine, but it's not the first guitar that I've had to deal with that. As a matter of fact, I had that Jackson USA Select SL1 guitar, and the fret ends were like little razor blades on that guitar, and that guitar is retail $4,500. $500 guitar, for sure you're going to have those problems if you're going to have them on $4,000+ guitars as well. Whatever, it's easy to fix. You just file them, sand them, smooth it all out, and it's beautiful now. What else? Most people won't even notice this, but I'm kind of OCD and whatnot. The control cavity on the back, there's a bunch of little screws, and then you take off the plastic cover, and then you see the inside where your wiring and everything is. One of the little screw holes was stripped in so much as when you tried to screw the screw back into the woods, it would just keep rotating endlessly. Little things like that bug me. Not so much that where it's like, oh, this guitar is broken or busted or there's a problem with the guitar. I mean, it would be ideal if that didn't happen, but yeah, it bugs me. So I fixed it. How do I fix that? I take some sawdust and some Elmer's wood glue, mix it into a thick paste, take a little syringe with a blunt needle, so suck up some of the pasty sawdust, squirt it into that hole, screw the screw in so that the screw kind of like pushes all of the glue into the existing stripped out threads, take the screw out, let it dry for a day, come back, and now the screw fits perfect and tight, and that's solved. Is that something that like most people will even notice? No. Is it something that should be like a make or break deal? No. I mean, my Gibson Les Paul, again, another expensive guitar. That guitar is $2,700, $2,800. Also had a stripped out control cavity screw hole. So same deal. Just fill it with a little wood glue mixed with sawdust, and you're good to go. So those were the only problems that I had with the guitar. For a $500-ish guitar, I don't think that's too bad. It does suck that the pickup was microphonic, but again, I was going to change it anyway, so I don't care. You might care if you intended on keeping the pickup, but I don't think they're all going to have that problem. I think I was a victim of, I don't know, the random number generator of like, every once in a while you get a bad problem, a problem with one of your guitars. So that little problem, the sharp fret ends, which aren't abnormal, wood shrinks when it dries out. So this probably just shrunk up a little tiny bit, easy fix. And then that little control cavity screw being stripped out, another easy fix. So those four things, yeah, not a big deal in my opinion. Everything else is so nice that pretty happy with it. The only other, I mean, quote unquote issue, and it's going to be from your perspective, and I want to double check my notes and make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I'm not. Yeah. So the only other issue that you might kind of look at this is that it's just a single pickup with a single control knob and no switching, no neck pickup. It's not versatile at all, right? And that might be a negative for you. For me, it's not, because this is exactly what I wanted. I wanted a guitar for, again, heavy down tune, high distortion, chugging and riffing and stuff. Perfect for what I wanted. Very simple, very yeah, just very perfect for me. For you, it might be an issue. You might want something with more versatility, multiple pickups, multiple switching options, all of that. I get it. So this is going to be something where you objectively have to decide for yourself whether or not that's a pro or a con. Pro for me, might be a con for you. That said, yeah, the guitar is great. That's all I really wanted to do, was kind of play it a little bit, show it to you, talk about it, and say, yeah, I highly recommend it. If you want to get one, and again, this isn't a sponsored video, but if you want to get one, I do have affiliate links. I will link them down below in the description and in the comments. Buy it from one of my affiliate links. It'll help me out, gives me a small little commission, doesn't cost you anything. I would appreciate it. And yeah, that's the only way that my channel is monetized at this point. I don't get money from ads. I don't get sponsorships from brands. I don't get anything. So if you can click on my affiliate link if you decide to buy this guitar, I would appreciate it very much. That said, I'm gonna wrap this one up and say thanks for tuning in, and yeah, until the next one, bye now.